All right. Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom. It is Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat. Uh, Welcome to the show. As you can tell by the title, we are talking about investing time. Okay. That's what we are talking about today. It is a extremely rainy day in down here in Florida. Swing the camera over there. I don't know if you can see, but it's been raining all day. As you know, that tropical storm. We got a direct hit here in Jacksonville, Florida. So it's just been kind of a lot of rain and wind. The wind hasn't been too bad. It's mostly a ton of rain. Um, but it turned out to be a blessing because I got up early this morning and went to work. And when I arrived there, I saw the parking lot was empty. And come to find out, they told us, "Hey, don't come in today," because they didn't know how this storm was going to turn out. So I actually ended up working out for the good for me. So I spent a lot of today just getting caught up on some things, taking care of some stuff with herbs, and also taking care of some auto repair issues. Uh, and I actually still have some more work to do later on. Um, but yeah, man, uh, we got a good quick show today. We're going to just be discussing how do you invest your time? What type of time investor are you? I got a question for you. Are you a what they call a value investor? Are you a long-term investor, which when it comes to investing in time, or are you more like a day trader when it comes to how you invest in time? I know me, at times I'm more like a day trader, just any bump or whatever, I'm caught up in that and really no long term value type investing. Um, I'm definitely consciously, purposefully working towards more long term value type investing when it comes to my time. And what do I mean by all that? Well, what I mean is uh, when it comes to, um, you know, no, thinking out what you want to spend your time doing, actually writing out goals. So, like, for instance, for instance, I have some goals and things that I want to accomplish, spiritual goals, uh, practical goals, you name it. And what happened at one point, I realized I wasn't moving any closer to those. They weren't, and the stuff just wasn't happening. So what I did is I actually wrote it out, and I made an agreement with myself that, hey, I'm gonna make sure I make a serious effort to put time into these every day. And now where I'm at now, I realize I need to more aggressively put time in the things that matter each day. Um, and it's going to be something different for everybody. But what I will say is everybody has that thing in their life that that they really know they need to get done, get accomplished. You name it. For me, it was a lot of there's some spiritual goals that I needed to achieve. There were also some uh, you might call it economic goals I needed to achieve. Um, there were some dietary and healing goals that I needed to achieve. Those were at the top of the list. And what I had to do is actually sit back and actually look at and take notes and little snapshots throughout the day of where I'm spending my time, where I'm investing my time at. And lo and behold, after doing that for a period of time, I began to see, you know what? I spend a lot of time doing this and it's fruitless. You know what? I spend a lot of time doing this and it's fruitless. And you just keep looking and you just see where you're doing stuff that really isn't gonna just even just sitting there in a practical sense is not gonna accomplish anything meaningful in your life. Um, so I saw a lot of areas like that in my life, and uh, I began making changes. And it's so funny that when because especially in the I can't say especially in my life, I'm sure everybody got a lot of things competing for their time. But me in particular, I'm like a lot of people. I got a family, I got a job, I work, got a community here, home assembly here that I'm the head of. So and then I got other things that I do, businesses and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things competing for my time. And when it's like that, you really got to sit down and you might even have to get like some paper, a pad and a pencil, write down your priorities, something you need to invest time in every single day, or really dedicate a lot of time to, because it's going to yield big fruit. Um, and so I literally sat down and logically did that, and I looked at some of the stuff that I needed to invest time in, and found out one of the things about it is I didn't want to invest time in. It wasn't. It's a lot of times it was more fun doing other things that appeared to be. They appeared to look like. Uh, they appeared to look productive, but then when I looked at it even closer, it wasn't the case. And sometimes with this stuff, with investing your time and everything like that, sometimes you have to pray to Yah to give you a desire for that. You know what I'm saying? To give you a desire to invest your time in that type of in those types of things. Okay. All right. Hold on one sec, y'all. Let me check something here. Okay. So, but yeah, um that's uh and the reason why I'm saying that, the reason why uh I'm I felt like I felt kind of moved to do a video about this is because I see a lot of people, even myself, like I said earlier, you'll see people stagnated in different areas and different things that they want to change, but they just don't know how to go about it. And this is just one aspect, one way of going about that. I see a lot of people spiritually stagnated. They got spiritual stagnation, and it goes back to where are they investing their time at? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're all there at the same Sabbath, Shabbat worship. We're all there, spend our time there. But then after everybody leaves, where's the time being invested? Is it being invested in video games? Is it being invested in another person? Is it being invested in, you name it, watching movies, doing something? Is it being invested in your job, your career, but are you investing too much in the career and not yourself? You see what I'm saying? So just giving people a whole nother dimension of stuff to look at so that they're not, you don't become spiritually stagnated, especially something I experienced down here is, you know, it can get very busy down here. Matter of fact, what is it? June? So it's July. June was a very busy month, especially the beginning of June was a very busy month for us down here. Uh, and it tapered off towards the end of the month. But the beginning of June, um, yeah, it was no joke. Okay. Uh, and kind of towards the end of May, it was, I mean, it was intense. We were shaking heavy, moving hard, really getting after this thing. Okay. It was a busy time, y'all. Let's see. Let me see. So that begs question: what type of time investor are you, and where is your time being invested? All right. So now, so, and like I said, to do this on a, all right, to do this type of work, okay, to really push through on this stuff, don't forget, there has to be a desire to change there. Okay. All right. So now the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna address a question that was asked, or a comment that was made on a video. I think it'd be good to address it on here. Kind of goes along the same lines, definitely goes along the lines of what we're doing down here and what Straightway is doing. So, all right, so I put, let's see, all right, so and I cut off part of the beginning, and they came respectfully, so I'm answering it respectfully. It's no problem. But they said, I highly respect what you all are doing at Straightway and believe that it is definitely to be commended. Your lifestyle is in line with what the apostles were doing, and I salute you all for that. Okay? That's the prepping. It's like, however, I don't believe that lifestyle is mandatory for everyone in order to properly serve Hamashiach. Yah and a Hamashiach said they'll know you're my disciples by the love you have for one another. I believe that if someone is keeping Torah, loving his brother and sister in Israel according to Torah standards and producing the fruit of the Spirit in how they conduct themselves, that she is probably serving Yah, or properly serving Yah. Okay. They that worship Yah must worship him in spirit and in truth. Spirit has to do with the attitude, disposition, and character of the individual. Truth has to do with the accuracy and level of obedience to Torah. Okay? So, you know, what I ask people with stuff like this, what I ask people is, how do you love your brother and be there for your brother? Like, to what degree? How do you go about that? How do you, like I say in all my videos, how do you truly walk this thing out? Because for years I did okay, we go to the Shabbat, you know, we go hang out, we go do things, blah blah blah. and we call each other Ak. We go to the conferences. We do all that. Okay. Um, I've done that. Okay. But I did that for years. But how is that really walking this thing out? Like, what is a brother? You know, how does that, what does that look like? Is that seeing each other once a week and maybe hanging out or doing something? Or is it truly coming together and having all things in common, like it says in the book of Acts? You see what I'm saying? So, how do you truly walk this thing out? That's the question. Okay. And what does it look like? And then you got to ask yourself, how do you come out of her? Like, what does that look like? How do you really make this thing happen? How do you really, how do you really love your brother? What is that? What does that look like? What is being selfless? Okay. And we gotta kind of define that out. And you know, the reason why it resonated with me, why how Straightway is walking this thing out is the route to go. Is hold on one second. There we go. How Straightway is walking this thing out the way to go is because when I look out there, I don't see anybody else doing anything. I see everybody very much assimilated to Babylon. I see everybody else very much locked in to Babylon, to the way of this Greco-Roman beast system, enslaved to it fully. And I see them more serving it with their time, resources, whatever. That's their brother. You see what I'm saying? So we got to look at it from a more complete biblical perspective, like from the whole main idea, the whole word. That's how we got to look at this thing. Um, and then it becomes obvious that you got to come together with like-minded people in all things. I mean, it becomes brutally honest. You know, if you really want to come out from among these people and be separate and live set apart and really grow spiritually, you got to be around spiritual people. You see what I'm saying? If you want to learn to be selfless and love your brother as you love yourself, don't you need to be around your brother outside of maybe once a week? And mind you, there's Hebrew Israelites out there that don't believe in keeping the Sabbath. They don't believe in feast days, you know? So it's like, so what a person here said, you know, they don't believe that that's what everybody has to do. I'm not saying everybody has to do this, but then what, but what else is there? How else do you really come together with your brother? You know, how else do you know, live set apart? You know, you gotta ask. Um, you know, and just I gotta keep saying this. Like for me, looking at the whole word and then looking at how we live here, like right now, you know, we're trying to save up our money and get prepared to move on land. Right now, we live in a subdivision. Y'all, a subdivision is nothing but an apartment with a lawn on it that you got to cut. Nothing more, nothing less. I mean, that's all it is. And the reality is, man, these subdivisions, man, like some of the rules, you know, they don't want you working on your car in front of their house. You can't put your garbage cans here. You know, you got to do this, you know, and you know that they're really on you with this stuff here. You're really under a lot of laws and rules, and I mean, you live so close to who knows who out here. I mean, I'm looking out, man. This house is like the way they build the houses now. You got about this much room between, you know, a little patch alone, you know. Um, That's the way it is now. And let's see, yeah, that's the way it is now. It's you just really in here like sardines, and you're really under a lot of rules and all that stuff. So that's the way they got this stuff set up. Um, so when you look at this, the ideal thing to do is move, come out from among them, get separate, get around like-minded people, live on land, let that land produce for you. Everything, whether you realize it through the word or you just look at society, man, Yah is pushing us in this direction regardless. Uh, Yah is pushing us. He's pushing you to grow your own food. I mean, look, the crap they sell in these stores, he's pushing you to grow your own food. You know what I'm saying? He's pushing us, and he's pushing you to get your children out of these crazy ass schools. He's pushing you to get your wife off these jobs with these crazy people. You know, he's pushing you to not really want to be around the people that are assimilated and locked into this Greco-Roman beast system. Um, I mean, like if you so like watching TV, it's hard to watch it now because there's so much crazy agendas, immoral agendas that they're pushing through the commercials and through everything else. You're like, if you're watching TV, you got to stomach through it. Otherwise, you're going to be getting assimilated into it. I don't watch it anymore. I don't watch television. A lot of times, if I got free time, I put music on and study something, or I watch some little videos on Facebook or something, maybe, you know. But it's like he's pushing you to want to up, be away from it. So, in the question, in the statement the sister made, let me read it again. And I'm not sure if this is a sister, but to the question they asked, however, I don't believe that lifestyle is mandatory for everyone in order to properly serve Yah. I would ask, show me something different. But what I found is moving in here, moving in this home with like-minded families and brothers and sisters is a blessing, and you don't realize it because it's so normal and so the same all the time. You don't realize the blessing of it until you get out there in the world and see what's going on. Till you go talk to somebody and they tell you about what's going on in your family. You hear about her, or you go look at people who aren't living set apart, even in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, and you go see what's going on with them. And then you like, man, thank Yah, he got me hidden in his secret place. That's where I'll be. Just like that song that brother sings, man. You be thanking Yah. All right, somebody said. Okay, somebody said America is controlled by the Jesuit Roman Greco beast system. Doesn't matter how much land one can accumulate, one still has to go the system to purchase the land who actually owns it. I agree. But the Greco-Roman beast system rules the world. Okay, the Greco-Roman beast system is Mammonism, which the name changes with each empire. In this empire, they call it capitalism, where the system owns everything and you got to labor for the system to get what you need. So it's just a modern day slavery. You work, you get these notes to buy what you need to eat, to live, to exist. By the time you're done buying that, it's time to go right back to work to get some more. Okay? So they rule the world. But There is a way to come out from among them to where you're not around them. And I'm saying this because I'm doing this. Okay. In as much as we can do in this communal home we live in here, in as much as we could do, we are come out of the system. We have our own ways of entertaining ourselves here. We try to grow a little garden here. We fellowship among ourselves. We don't go to them to have them work on our cars. We're not hanging around them going to their events. We're hanging around the brothers and sisters. We live around like-minded, serious-minded people. We have a biblical, righteous, moral standard, and that's who we're around. I've actually seen other nations do this. When I used to live, uh, in some condos here called the Mirabella condos, and a whole bunch of Indian families and stuff moved in there, and they would only deal with each other. I actually seen them get in an accident, rear end one another. One of them rear ended the other. They didn't even call the cops. They just got out the car and settled it amongst themselves. You know what I'm saying? Um, but our people don't know that. Like our people don't know this. Like they don't realize this. You know, they don't get it. They don't understand because once again, the mammonism or the capitalistic Greco-Roman beast system divides you and keeps you separate. This is my house. This is my car. This is my this. This is my garage. These are my tools. Well, what we did is combined everything. You know what I'm saying? We put it all together. And our mentality ain't about having the newest flashy car. In our in our in this system, it's about being debt free, saving up money so you can buy something that you can produce for yourself in as much as you can. You understand what I'm saying, Brother Myron? Um, you know, as long as you sit up in a house as an individual, like you're limited on what you can do. But if you buy yourself 10 acres of land and put a big garden there and get 3 or 4 families, or just get another family, one other family, but you get a couple like-minded, serious-minded people come together, y'all can very much produce a great deal for yourself. You know, you get on a good piece of land, there's a number of businesses you could run out of there. Like us here, man, shoot, look, let me show you something real quick. I'm pan this around real. Like if you see behind me, if I could really show you, man, we got a, a maintenance garage, a little mini compact, densely packed full of tools maintenance garage. Man, these brothers, we can't wait to get on some land and start working on cars, painting cars, and doing what we need ourselves. We limited by what we could do here. But going back to what I'm saying, yes, we're in captivity, but what did he tell them to do in Babylon when they were in captivity? He told them, buy vineyards, buy land, plant stuff on the land, build houses, marry your daughters off, marry your daughters to other like-minded brothers and sisters, and produce, let the land produce. The Yah gave us the land to provide for us. Now the beast system will say, no, I have given you, Caesar has given you Walmart to produce and provide for you. You know, that's how people are wired up. But we gotta, the Most High has given us land to produce and provide for us and to heal us from sickness and to give us energy and all that stuff like that. Put a 100 up in there if y'all understand where I'm coming from. Hey, shalom, brother Rob. What's up? Rob Mathis, shalom. Um, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say something else. You know, you don't. Me particularly, man, I was fed up dropping my children off at school. Okay, I was fed up having my wife have to go out and work. You know, I was fed up, um, just with that hustle and bustle of life, not eating properly. Everybody's tired and rushing, and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, what better way, like, let me give you another example of the subtle deception of the beast system. So you got, building off what I just said. All right, your wife goes to work, you go to work, you drop the children off at school. So the children at school, you don't know who the hell educating them on what. More than likely, it's a practicing witch or wizard, and they're pushing the transformer Gayfer agenda down their throat. They're giving them candy. They're eating all types of nasty crap in school. I could go on and on. They're meeting just immoral people and just getting fully indoctrinated by the beast system in its sinful way. You got your wife. She's at work. The Most High ordained her to be obedient and under submission to you, not Master Charlie. But she at work, working for Master Charlie, calling him sir, giving him her best energy and time when she's really supposed to be pouring that time and energy into the children, into the home, in the youth. So by the time she get off and working for Master Charlie, she tired. The children get home from school, the public school system with Common Core, and you got to teach, you got to learn Common Core so you can explain it to them because the teachers ain't going to teach them this shit. And then, of course, you get off work and you tired as hell, and you want something to eat, and don't nobody feel like really cooking every night. So then you order some McDoodoo, some McDoodoo burgers, and you eating out every day and you're eating unhealthy, and then you're getting fat, and then you got to get your money and pay money to go to the gym and work out and get sweaty and blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? Whereas, in as much as you can, even in this B system, in as much as you can, if you just do a slight change, you transition. You come together with some like-minded brothers and sisters that you get a good witness in your spirit about, and y'all come together, pull your resources, your money together. You buy a piece of land, you get the women off the job, you pull the children out of school, let the women homeschool the children, let the women be there to cook meals for you. The men go out and work. Like I said, you pool the money together, and then you eventually turn around and you buy land. Once you're on that land, instead of going to the gym and paying the beast money so that you can stay in shape because you've been eating McDoodoo burgers, instead, you're going to get your exercise by working the land. You don't got to go to the gym and bench weight. You go out there and work your land. You build some buildings on that land. That's a good workout. You work in the sun, cleanse your body, you detox. And then guess what? Once what you work the land for grows, the crops, you harvest them. The women cook them, you eat them, they're healthy for you, and you get in shape, you feel good, and everybody's in a large degree, you're not so locked in and enslaved to the beast system. You see what I'm saying? That's one aspect of what we're talking about here. On top of that, on top of that, you're around the saints. You're around like-minded, serious, biblical, righteous believers that are serious about the work. I'm not just talking about this. This is something I'm doing to a certain degree. And I know other people who are further ahead, who are actually on land already and actually walking this thing out to that level. You see what I'm saying? So I really don't see any other way of operating when you read the book. Yah's word is like, it's not a religious book. It the Yah's word is more of an economic agricultural book than anything else. Like the bulk of the analogies are agricultural in nature or economic in nature, and they're encouraging you to come together with your brothers and sisters. You know, what were those two commandments that Yah said hangs all the laws and the prophets that Jesus said upon these two commandments hang all the laws and the prophets. The whole thing hangs on what? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and love your brother as you love yourself. Okay? So this is mine, this is yours too, brother. Type stuff. Y'all put y'all put 100s in there so y'all understand. Y'all get it. Y'all see where I'm coming from. So literally, this is something, you know, and like I said, the person who asked that question was respectful, so I'm not disrespecting them or anything like that. I don't want to come off that way, but there is something that has to be said. Like I'll say it like this: for me, by the time I ran into Straightway for the first time when I was up in Detroit, I was frustrated and fed up with this beast system. I saw it for what it was. It was a rat race. And I was serving them, you know. The beast system had my children, it had my wife, it was getting the best of them, it getting the best they had. And I was like, what's the point? And in order to come up in the beast system, you got to oppress more people. Trust me, I knew how to do that. I would have. I was on my way to be a multi millionaire because I was getting ready to get after it real aggressively with rental properties. And when I say I understand how to do rental properties, I know how to do them. Okay, I had at the time I think 4 or 3 rental properties with tenants in them, paying rent, making a profit, and I knew how to ramp it up. But when I really looked at it, it was just I learned the way of the beast system and how capitalism works, and I was implementing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all, it's real, man. But there's a better way. Y'all has a better way. Got a better way for you, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. That's one of the reasons why I do these videos, is so people can't say, oh, well, why is that the way? No, you're gonna see that, yo. I watched Michael Israel go from just being a teacher, teaching on relationships, to being a Hebrew Israelite, I guess, evangelist, where I'm traveling all over the place, linking Hebrews together in you know, different areas, you know, because that was my mission at one point, was to get brothers and sisters out of their house from being individualites and isolationites and draw them out so they could come together and begin fellowshipping with, you know, the way the word says. And that was a season in my life. Now I'm on another level where I moved to actually taking this thing and it's documented step by step, where you can see me taking this thing to the next level. Like one of the things y'all watched us get rid of all of our cars that have debt. And we've gotten, as you can see, you know, we got vans now. We got 3 vans here, 3 big old vans, too, the big joints. We fix them up. They're all the exact same type of van. So the brothers learn how to work on them. They know how to work on anything, but we all got the exact same type of van, to where if we need to evacuate or we traveling somewhere, man, we just load these vans up, load the people in, boom, you know. And it's a beautiful thing, you know, when brothers come together in unity, and we've seen it. The vans ain't such a good analogy, but we see it when we do jump on jobs. We see it with the business we have here. You know what I'm saying? We see it, you know? So it's a beautiful thing. Um, but it's something, once again, there has to be a desire for it. There has to be a desire in your heart. And like I said, when I went up there to Detroit and met Straightway and Pastor Dow for the first time, I mean, where I was at with the whole Hebrew walk thing, man, I was just basically frustrated because I had hit a plateau. I had plateaued out. And I was like, all right, what next? And went up there and I was showed what's next. It was shown to me, you know. And like I said, the next step, we got on. And it's a lot of growth, a lot, a lot of iron sharpening iron, a lot of really being shown yourself, seeing who you are. Yeah, it was a lot of it. It was a real deal. Um, but yeah, that's you know, I don't see any other way, and I don't see anybody doing any other way. I hear, of course, I definitely have a finger on a pulse of a lot of what's going on in the Hebrew community. From time to time, I'll get a inkling of what's going on. So the only other thing going on out there is a lot of people saying, "Go back to Africa, go to Africa, go to Africa." Like that's a solution, but that's not the solution, y'all. I'm telling you, what the solution is, you got to come together with your brothers and your sisters. And in order to do that, it takes a very serious minded person who wants to grow spiritually. Okay? And that's why you don't see anybody doing it, because people don't want to grow spiritually. Like I told the dude, I was like, hey, you living in that house. There's one dude we were just talking about. I said, hey, you live over there in that house and your wife works. And I was like, and this dude is basically retired. I said, y'all need to move in together so you get her off the job. And them eyes, like I said, them eyes were like, like, yeah, I hear you, but I ain't trying to do all that. Like, people don't want to do that. They don't want to do what it really takes to come out of this system, because low key, they love Babylon. All right, I'm gonna show y'all the weather out here real quick. Yeah, this is what it's been like all day out here today. It's a little windy and a little rainy. See that? That's Big Red. It's getting ready. Big Red getting ready to get painted. And that's White Thunder. And then Brother Dex drives White Lightning. Okay? As you see the lightning before you hear the thunder. But yeah, so but yeah, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, so that's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. I think it's gonna become a lot more evident to people, to those who have an ear to hear. This way of living, this way of operating, it's gonna become a lot more obvious to people in the coming months, maybe years. People gonna begin to realize that, look, I need to find some serious-minded saints, some serious-minded brothers, sisters, families that I fellowship with and link up with them. And like I said, man, a lot of people, you know, Straightway's been doing this for what, 30 years? They've been doing it. Now everybody got an ear for it because it's beginning to make sense. So you wait till the next wave or the next whatever situation, disaster, whatever comes, and Folks gonna get it, man. Y'all gonna make people either gonna break or bend, but you gonna conform to this thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just real talk. But yeah. Anyway, y'all, I got herb work to do. I gotta take notes. I'm gonna be doing an herb class later on. Should be today, I'm pretty sure. We're gonna be talking about Tulsi, holy basil, both the same name. That's an Ayurvedic name for it. And we're gonna be talking about uh, what's the other one? Let me pull it up here. But we're gonna be talking about some herbs, um, you know, that. Hold on one second. Yeah. But, we're gonna be talking about some herbs that, you know, and I'm be giving y'all some information that you haven't heard, particularly for women regarding some of these herbs. And let me give you the quick answer. If you're pregnant and you don't know, you're not well studied in herbalism, don't take no herbs. Okay? Yeah, that. So, but anyway, y'all, it's coming down out here, and I gotta close this garage. So I am gonna wrap this up. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and I am gonna get back to work here, or get back to studying. Shalom, shalom, y'all.